Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalika and you're going to be nicer to call center staff after watching this video. Customer leaves a nasty review calling me out by name when I could only give a replacement and not a refund for a bed her dog destroyed. For $36, mind you. I work at a relatively small company that manufactures and sells dog beds. Being a small company, I'm one of two people answering phone calls even though I'm not really the customer service person. Lady calls in and says her dog tore up the new dog bed. I say the standard things. We offer a 30-day replacement bed for this type of bed when this happens. She tells me no, she wants a full refund. I tried to explain to her that we can't do a refund for a fully destroyed product and that the full replacement guarantee is clearly listed on the site. She's not having it at all. I say alright, we'll send an email to the customer service email and we'll see what we can figure out. She says no, she tried and they never responded. Our responses are delayed this time of year because we have one customer service lady. I just take occasional calls when she's busy. I understand this, so I say okay. Email me at my company email and I'll try to help you out. She does, and I ask my manager what we can do. My manager tells me the same thing I told the lady, one-time replacement only. I email back and let her know I escalated to my manager, but unfortunately all we could do is the replacement. She goes off. She's very upset, claims I promised her a refund, etc. I'm not sure exactly how she would expect a refund for a completely destroyed bed. We offer a one-time replacement, which I would say is a fairly good deal, 2 beds for the price of 1. Anyways, she leaves a review online calling me out by my full name. Stupid me giving her my company email. I just do wholesale crap and B2B. I try to avoid B2C interactions. Luckily, the review was flagged for profanity, so I could reject it. But come on, lady. You get your bed, $36 by the way, our cheapest bed, not a huge investment, and toss it into your dog's kennel with the dog for 6 hours immediately with no acclimatization, when you know your dog destroys crap, and no toy. What do you expect to happen? No, a free replacement bed isn't good enough for you and you need your $36 back, and want to berate me for having my hands tied and not being able to give you a refund. I don't get paid enough for this crap. Entitled customer can't understand why her service was shut off. Long. I recently read a tale about a customer who had some overage issues, and it reminded me of a call I took several years ago from a dumb woman that thought she was entitled to whatever she wanted. Basically, I worked the retention lines at a major cell carrier that had offered unlimited data plans for iPhones for a short while, and then stopped doing so because a handful of people were using way more data than they should have been, while most people weren't using hardly any at all. You can see my thoughts on this at the end of the post. However, I took this call several years after unlimited iPhone plans had been retired, and this customer managed to retain one by just buying devices outright and popping the activated SIM in them to keep the plan going. So I do my normal opening. Thanks for calling BSNS, my name is OP and I can help with anything you need. Go through the validation steps and everything is normal. She's super nice. I'm working cancellations, so I'm thinking she was just going to drop a service and go to a new provider or something to that effect. Haha, nope. Her data got cut off and she was immediately sent to cancellations because she's one more plan violation for being cancelled on our side. I pulled up the billing system and found that she was averaging 80 gigabytes per month usage, which is on par with what I use at home. So I start talking through the issue. Account shows obscene data usage, line is pending cutoff, she needs to curb her usage and maybe look at getting a plan with overages if she wants to salvage the account. She goes from being nice to pissed almost immediately. I need this service, I have to watch Netflix on the long bus ride to work every day. Holy crap, you're using 80 gigabytes of data only on Netflix? On 3G? How is that even possible? It probably isn't, but I've got to shift gears from being kind and informative to calm it down mode, so I'm not going to call her out in her bull. Well ma'am, we didn't offer unlimited data plans with the idea that it could be used to watch that much Netflix through the course of a month. The reason it's unlimited is that you can download apps, browse and get updates to your device without worrying about overages. I'm also saying you're using a Samsung, which means you shouldn't even have an Apple unlimited plan. Cue a short rant about how the warranty wouldn't cover her broken iPhone, so she did what she had to do. Something I would have been willing to overlook if she wasn't now screaming at me, and just let the system catch it whenever it got around to doing so. If she was really nice, I may have just comped her a new iPhone with a short contract to cover the cost. But those opportunities were long gone. So we go back and forth a bit, before I finally get tired of the nonsense and start inventing ways to get this call over with. Listen ma'am, the system doesn't lie, and it shows you're using an obscene amount of data. You're abusing the terms of service and the network, and the reason you were transferred to my line is that the company is going to cut you off and you're going to have to find a new carrier. I wasn't prepared for what came next. You want to talk about abuse? You and your company are abusing me. I work too hard to pay my bills and I demand the best, and you haven't provided it. How dare you say I'm abusing anything? And on and on and on. Oh boy, I just threw some gasoline on the fire here. But at the end of that rant, she finally said those magic words. I want your supervisor, now. The only problem was that the escalation queue was pretty heavy that day. Average wait was about an hour. I pinged one of my favourite escalation reps on the side and asked what to do. He said to offer a call back. She declined. Absolutely had to speak to a supervisor about how she's been mistreated. I wasn't being tracked for AHT at the time, so I told her that the hold was about an hour and lied that I had other calls to take. Concurrent calls were a thing, but it's against the rules, so I wouldn't be able to check in with her very frequently. She said whatever, and that should wait. So I put her on hold and went to make a PB&J. Came back and browsed the web for about an hour while jamming out to awful hold music on my side, waiting for the warm transfer. Finally got through, did a warm transfer through her screams and let the supervisor take it. He ended up telling her the exact same stuff I did, and I'm pretty sure she tried to escalate further and got nowhere. Now, I did say that I would talk about how I felt about the whole data thing. A lot of times, us folk in IT think that data metering is a bunch of nonsense, and a lot of times it is, but on the cellular side of business, there are occasionally good reasons for it to still be common practice. Not always, but occasionally. In this instance, she was in the wrong for using her phone to do whatever it was she was doing with it, and I suspect it was a lot more than just Netflix. Back then, voice services were transitioning from the 2G network to 3G, with 4G on the horizon. What this meant is that data traffic and voice traffic were sharing the same network, and there were a lot of QoS issues that were still being ironed out. I had taken a call previously that week or month from a woman who had claimed that her husband had been shot, and despite having full bars, her phone could not get a call out to 911. This was a common symptom of a congested cell tower that wasn't properly performing QoS. 911 should always be highest priority over all other data and voice services. If the crazy caller from above was using her phone as a hotspot or some other nonsense, she could have easily been the cause of some other individual dropping voice calls or having poor data performance. And in that case, yes, she was abusing the terms of service and the network with her overages. These scenarios don't apply so much anymore, although you still do run into those congestion scenarios where you've got full bars of 4G or 5G and somehow can't get freaking Reddit comment section to load. This is an interesting story because I actually don't think the customer should be labelled as entitled. If she has signed a contract that the company would provide unlimited data without clauses such as a cap on it or cutting off service if she exceeds X amount, then surely that's what she should be receiving without a problem. What she does with the data shouldn't be any concern to the network carrier because she's just getting what she's paying for and what the contract is stipulated that she's entitled to. Am I missing something here? I don't get it. I would be annoyed too. Would you like a free trial? I worked for a mobile phone company in the early 2000s. At the time, mobile internet was text-based on tiny flip phone screens. It was virtually useless because websites would only show up if the devs created a second website to show up on text browsers. And while a few did this, they were often not updated to show the same information as the real website, and you couldn't use them for useful things like making purchases. The job of the customer support team was to sell additional services first, help the customer second. So a typical scenario was, guy calls in wondering why his bill was $20 more than normal. Before looking at his bill, I offer him to switch to our long distance service. No thanks. Okay, look at bill, solve problem. Oh, by the way, would you like unlimited text messaging? A large portion of the time, the suggested offer was a 90-day free trial of the mobile internet service. There were a couple of conditions that the agent, me, was supposed to check before making the offer and explaining while extending it. 1. Only one free trial per account. 2. Customer needed an internet-ready phone, and most weren't. 3. After the 90 days, the charge would be added to the plan unless they called back. And 4. If they didn't have internet on their plan but used it, they would be charged $1 billion per megabyte. I don't remember the real number, but it was close to that. So, on this fateful Tuesday evening, Sally calls in wondering why her bill is over $400. History shows a typical bill for her is around $40. All of the additional charges are internet related. Turns out, she had been offered a free trial of the internet service 6 months ago, but it didn't work on her phone. When she upgraded her phone, they offered her another free trial without mentioning that she no longer qualified for a free trial. This added $10 a month to her bill because she already used the free trial on her old phone. Mum saw the extra $10 on the bill and cancelled the data plan without telling Sally, but Sally kept using the data, thinking she was still 1 month into a 3-month trial. I wrote off the data charges, added a one-time $10 fee for data use for the current month, and let them know that future use would be charged at the regular rate, or that the plan was $10 a month for unlimited. Mum was having none of that, so they decided to disable internet on the phone completely, so as to avoid the whole mess. This is done, and I'm wrapping up the call, so I have to make an offer. And what do I see on my screen but suggest a 3-month free trial of mobile internet service. Wow. I remember my very first phone was a tiny silver flip phone, and my brother and I were told very sternly to never press the blue internet button. I remember pressing it once by accident and nearly having a heart attack trying to get out of it again. How times have changed. Okay, so that's all for r/Tales from Call Centers. I really hope you did enjoy it. As always, if you do want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. My Twitter, Discord and Patreon links are in the description, and any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!